Oh, good Lord. It feels like it's been a month and a day since I've been back here, and it feels good to be back. Potter and I are going to dive into this burning world of crypto that still has a crap load of opportunity. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel where we build financial power. I'm Matt, and this is
Potter.
Appreciate you sliding by. We've been dropping episodes every Thursday, Friday, thanks to Potter holding this on her back. She's got this on her. She's carrying the team on her back because I have not been able to be here on Thursdays. Missed last Friday. It feels like I haven't been here in quite some time. I don't want to harp on that too much. Potter, how you feeling over there?
Better that I'm seeing Matt on the other side of this camera.
Oh,
thank you for saying that. You know that I'll carry it as far as I need to. But with that being said, we don't carry anybody past anything that looks like financial advice. That was a horrible segue. But
yeah, that was great. That was fantastic.
You know, we're sitting here staring at the same Fed. We're staring at the same, rate hikes and the FUD that is constantly on something that most people are just ignorant of when it comes to blockchain technology. But that doesn't mean that we can, give you the right advice. We're just, as Matt says, documenting our journey through this wild and crazy world.
We're travelers in our own kayaks, and we're trying to fill the holes as we go along this little river here. And there's been quite a few rapids, if I can make this any cornier of an explanation. And so Cole, glad to see you there. I've been seeing you in the comments as usual. But Potter and I were talking on, and we're going to get into ultimately the topic of Forex and this ecosystem in the world. And I know he's made some announcements, but Potter and I were talking. She's like, "How you been? How you been?" And my answer back, and it's ultimately ties into the show, that I feel like going through the motions it's got a negative connotation tied to it. That's not how I feel like I've been doing. I've just sort of been putting one foot in front of the other, just going, things haven't been holy crap incredible, but things haven't been absolutely horrible. I have this perspective of knowing things are on fire, but just putting one foot in front of the other, I guess is the best way I could say it. And, a lot of people that aren't into politics, including myself, I'm not deep into politics, and you hear the sentiment often like, "Oh, well, that doesn't really affect me." Well, and I get that to an extent why people say that. And I believe that to an extent too. But when the gas price, when you are pumping your own gas, you're putting fuel in your own vehicle, and you see that tick, 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 ticking up, it's like, all right, that is affecting me. Like when you see the certain things that are actually impacting you, it's like, well, I guess it is. So you're starting to feel that, I guess is what I'm saying. And that has a financial weight on you, that hits you up here a little bit, whether it's devastating or not. And I think that's part of one foot in front of the other. So how have I been? I've been just trying to put one foot in front of the other and just provide value in the areas where I'm valuable. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, you are very valuable, and you do have a niche when it comes to, Matt Lane from Matt Lane Fitness. Check out his channel, his YouTube. He does shorts all the time. It's really cool. And, you're still growing your crypto bag because look, last year, this time we were hoping like, oh my God, but now the crypto world is just like everybody else, but the difference is we're like a redheaded stepchild. Sorry to all the redheaded stepchildren out there. It's just it's a book reference. It's easy to pick on crypto because nobody knows about it, but it brings in Gen Z and Gen Y to click on links, and to take a look. And that's, they're there to create money, but we're just feeling, unlike last year, this time, we're feeling it like they are. But now it comes down to, do you understand the technology? Because if you don't understand the technology, you're like, I'm never going to make money from this. But why I said, Matt, come with me on this journey was not because we were going to make money. That is going to happen, in my opinion. That's a dead issue. You can It just takes time. It's the technology. Like when people are going, well, when this thing finally realizes that the historic rates that have been raised, we're supposed to wait 8 months before we even see the effects of it. And we went from 0% to 4% in a year.
Mm-hmm.
That is not good. People who are going to apply for loans now, they can't, like, no, I heard on Valuetainment, I think it's called, the guy said, nobody goes to a bank saying, I want to buy $1 million house. They go, how much can I buy if I can afford to pay this much in rent?
That's a very good point.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now when you take a look at it, it's like, oh, this is going to happen to businesses too. Businesses now can't go out and get loans.
Yeah.
They used to be able to get a cheap loan, turn it around, go right back to it. And now that's gone.
Yeah.
So what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to close their doors. They're going to have to lay off people in a rapid fashion. It's going to happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
And because the Fed has said they're getting inflation down no matter what. We don't care about you. We're going to get this down. But the thing that's going to pull us out of this, Matt, is the technology and blockchain.
Yeah.
Right? 100%. Just like the internet. When everything blew up, they were like, what do? We don't, why don't we use that internet thing that we've been trashing and, making everybody afraid of? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try it. And that is what brought the U.S. economy back.
Yep.
And I believe that blockchain, because of the breaches that you're seeing, the malware that you're seeing, all of the attacks that you're seeing, the best answer for that is blockchain technology.
Yeah. Well, and I want to touch on this. So Cole was saying up in Canada, we've already, by the way, Era, good to see you. Good, sir. I saw your comment there. We have already started to see foreclosures kick in as people begin to refinance and can't afford new payments. Yeah. And so this is where my head goes as somebody that is after financial power, as somebody like I feel like the people that are watching, you most likely stumbled across this with maybe somewhat of a similar goal. And I keep going back to I believe in the technology side of the crypto. Like, yes, drip is down and has been down below $1 now. And like, holy crap, it was at 190, 200, a year ago. Less than a year ago. Right.
Okay.
And you look at that, and what's interesting about crypto is that it's like, dude, when it's good, it's good. Holy crap, we're riding high. But when it's bad, oh, screw that. It's bad. It's dangerous. It's not good. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in that. We've said it a billion times. But still, at the end of the day, do you believe in the technology? And that's exactly what, Potter, you were just touching on. And I do still, in some of the worst times. Like, I'm just like, I believe in this technology. It's not going away. So anywhere. So you hold on to that. And do you believe in technology? Do you believe in the project, the startup that you're investing in, whether it's Drip or Animal Farm or whatever? Then hold on. If you don't believe in it, it's all good. Tap out, cash out, do whatever you're going to do. Go. The other side of that is, and I think to myself, what value do I have to, exchange that for monetary income or whatever? And I'm speaking to you out there and speaking to myself as well. Like, how do I focus on that? Like, that's where my head has been, is make sure you focus on that, especially in the bad times. Like, are you putting value in the areas that you can to then, reap the rewards from that? And I would hope that you out there listening would chew on that and figure out, what is that value? Maybe it, maybe you can sharpen it, maybe you can hone it, and do that. So I hope that serves as a bit of like, there's light at the end of this tunnel, like.
Yeah, I think you're saying it in a different way, but everybody's now truly finding out, what is my risk posture?
Yeah.
Do I want out or do I want in? We know that we're not getting thousands of dollars a day or hundreds of dollars. Well, hundreds. Yeah. But, we're not getting the 0.01 cent from the bank that pays us 1 cent a month.
Yep.
Right. We're definitely doing better than that.
Yeah.
The Forex Shark ecosystem is made to facilitate waiting out a bear market. Now, if you are a whale and you're working in the Forex system, you're a very happy person.
Yes.
You're making solid passive income every day.
Yep.
And I can still support myself on this. And that's not supposed to happen with something that doesn't work.
Yep.
But what also happened during the internet boom, we were talking about this before we came on the stream, was, the bull crap got shaken out. There were a zillion crap coins. Remember, Matt?
Yes.
We were like, we goof around with everything. We're like, oh, what's this?
Look
And
at
then
this
we got smarter
yeah.
to go, Ponzi. What's a Ponzi?
Right.
Ponzi. Oh, Ponzi. We hate Ponzi. Well, we understand Ponzi.
Yeah.
Ponzi doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. But the majority of people who are not going to watch this are going, crypto is a Ponzi scheme.
Right.
What does that even mean?
Like a blanket. You mean that they say that as a blanket statement, like every bit of you understood. Yeah.
They don't know what DeFi is.
Right.
They don't understand that the people who lost in crypto trusted centralized functions that were not audited to hold their money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy. And now, the bigger attacks are going. I brought this up on yesterday's show against Binance. They're not stopping, because now, to Kevin O'Leary's point, Binance is now the biggest monopoly in crypto. There's nobody else. There's nobody else other than Binance that is in their space. Nobody can touch them. And they're not regulated, not good. Right? But they've got the backing. They can prove that they've got the money.
What about crypto.com? I know that they're gigantic now.
Not as big as Binance.
Really? Okay, I didn't realize that. Huh.
Yeah, Binance is huge.
Huh.
Right? And so, but now, thankfully, you remember when the attacks came against Uber when they first launched? Like, well, see, I was a traveler, so they were so convenient. But cab companies they had control, and they were pushing them. They were like, okay, you have to stand outside of the airport. You can't call.
Right.
And then Uber got big enough that they had a lot of money,
and
they started negotiating with regulators.
Yep.
That's what's got to happen now with Binance. You're too big to not negotiate now. Yep. And so I kind of see that FUD. It's like, you can't attack Binance the way you could. They had a bank run, and it was like, we're still here. Yeah. Right. If they had a bank run and they didn't have the support, they would be just like everybody else. Yeah. They would have run out of money. They were like, oh, we need to halt training for a few days. We'll let you back into your account when we can. But that didn't happen. Yeah.
Well, so I was thinking about this. I'm kind of into the fitness thing, and I was lifting weights the other day, and lifting weights has been probably the #1 most therapeutic thing I've ever done in my life. And it's just stayed with me. I think that's one of the biggest reasons I've continued to do it. I've built a business on it. And it's been said a billion times, but for some reason I felt it even more that night when I was lifting. But if you're listening or watching, whatever you're working on or whatever you are dreaming on, I cannot express it enough to you that the consistency of putting one foot in front of the other, especially during the shit times when it looks like everything is on fire and everything is pointing a finger to you saying, you're not going to make it, or this isn't going to work, or your self-doubts pop up. If you can just continue to put one foot in front of the other and hold on to what you believe in, whether that is fitness or the technology or whatever, or the reason why you're doing it, that is what gets you through those dark times. That's what gets you through the times of like, damn it, the news is saying this, and this is what I'm seeing, and these are the bad thoughts that are popping up. But if you can just put one friggin' foot in front of the other, that is truly like where champions are made. As corny as that sounds, like,
it's not corny. It's great wisdom, and only the people that succeed tell you what you just said. Just keep moving. Yeah. Right. And that's why we can take a look at, the Forex Shark ecosystem and the drip ecosystem and go, transition. They're not stopping. He didn't say, you know what? I've given up on helping poor people get their own wealth. You
Mm-hmm.
know what? The systems aren't paying out anymore. That's not happening, you
Yeah.
know? But you do have a choice. You can exit because you have custody
Yep.
of your own token. Get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's an option in DeFi. You
Yep.
know, put your money back into fiat and let it sit there. Cash might be king, right?
Yep.
But you can't half-ass this. The DeFi world right now is not on auto. You have to be a farmer. You have to maintain it.
Good way to put that.
And although the Animal Farm has introduced a level of automation to it, it's still not fully automated.
Correct.
You know, but if you take a look at this at the micro level where we are now, day to day, yeah, man, this is overwhelming. But if you take a look at the macro look and put this in with the rest of your life, how many times have you sat there going, I don't know how I'm going to make it through next week?
Precisely.
It's not possible. There's no way I'm not going to get fired. There's no way I'm going to complete this project. I once rolled out a project, Matt, an international project that had, you know, it was Time Warner, right? So, and I told everybody to stay away from me and let my guys work. 86,000 desktops. And I walked in that morning when we started to roll it out and I looked at our logs. Fail.
Crap.
Oh no. I was like, my job is done. That's a micro moment.
Yep.
And then I realized, wait a minute, look at those IP addresses. That's Ireland. They're not in our domain. No wonder they're not working. And then we had the highest internal consumer approval rating of any rollout in the history of the company at that time.
Wow.
So, but at the time it was like, oh no, not like this.
The world was
not
falling.
like this. You know, but we believed in what we'd done. We'd worked really hard. We tested on every device. And when I take a look at the way that Forex is setting up the system, he's doing all of that extra work, you know? So yeah, we might be getting failure, but what do we look at as DeFi people? Is it paying? Because we know how many things we went into this year that they're not around. Right. So how the heck is this system getting more people in it and getting more revenue when everything is dropping? Because he did the hard work, but he can't avoid the worldwide collapse. So we're going to have to be a part of that. We cannot be outside of that, or there's something afoot that's not right. Does that make sense?
It completely makes sense. And it actually brings me to that next point. I did want to say, is it Mitchell Pettifor? Appreciate you. Hello. How are you? I'll give you a hello.
Yeah, meet Matt. He's been here before. Yeah, Matt. Matt is real, Mitchell.
I've been here a handful of times. Well, and I was thinking about that. I feel like the overarching themes of what we have said for going on a year now of doing this show, this documentation slash journaling, I feel like we say a lot of the same things, and I think that's a good thing. And let me expound.
Okay.
We talk about sticking to your principles. Don't put up risk capital that you don't have. Do you believe in the technology? Put one foot in front of the other. I feel like we talk to a lot of the same things constantly, over and over and over. That might be because I haven't been here lately, but I think it might also be because success, when you really look at it, people that are successful, they do this, the boring as hell, step to step. Like the boring things is what being consistent at the simple things is what makes people so successful. And I think about this in my business of fitness and what I really talk about. And I'm like, I say the same damn thing over and over and over and over again. But it's because it's the truth and that's what works and it's simple. And I say all that to say, if it feels like we're saying the same thing, maybe a part of it is us saying it to ourselves.
Yeah, good point.
As much as it is saying it to you, because when you get fancy, that's when things get difficult to get successful at. You know, when you keep it simple and you just keep pounding the pavement, like I feel like that's a major factor in what separates people from being successful. And I would say almost anything, that the ability to keep pounding the pavement in the simple, basic things that it takes to accomplish the goal, you know?
Right. And I love that you used health and fitness.
Yeah.
Because you talked about, that we say these things over and over again, and we have a small audience, and we're okay with that. But
Yeah.
when you take a look at health, that's over and over and
Yep.
over every
Right.
day.
Exactly.
Over. It's the most repetitive thing that you could possibly do.
Yep.
But look what happens from the benefits of doing that over and
Exactly.
over. Right. And I, in my life, have seen benefits from being in crypto every day.
Yeah.
I've changed, but just like, you have to change your workouts, but I didn't change the fundamentals of
Exactly.
rinse and repeat.
Precisely.
You have to constantly remind yourself every day, like when I get in a workout spurt, I know that it's because I'm motivated to get up. There's something that I want to do. And at the beginning, like everybody starts, like a lot of people are going to be coming to you in a few weeks.
Come on, January. Yep.
Yeah. That feeling of, I want to do this. It's my risk profile. I know that there's a chance that I can get hurt.
Yep.
I don't have to do it. Do I want to invest in equipment?
Right.
Do I want to invest in crypto, or do I just want to do it at home? Keep your money in a bank, buy a 10-year bond.
Yep.
Right now it's 3.5%. That's pretty good return for 10 years. So I like that you use the weight analogy, because it is a grind.
Yep.
And it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we talked it out.
We did. I did want to, if you're cool, that I did want to touch on just a couple things about Forex and the ecosystem and whatnot. Some thoughts that I had because drip.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Drip is obviously the main focus right now. And me, I ask questions, not from a negative standpoint, but from a shine a light for perspective and understanding.
Sure.
So we've talked about drip. Drip needs utility in order to truly bring the price up. I've seen quite a bit of YouTubers currently talking about, let's do some lotteries and pull some money and all that, which is cool. And I think that's good. And I do understand that if you don't have a community, if you don't have people that are interested, good luck. So I do, I think I tip my cap to the idea of the community doing what the community can to, I guess, support the vision of what drip is, which is good. However, I feel like if you don't have utility, that is all rah-rah. So you have to have that utility. So I guess the question is this. What's coming is layer 2, the on-ramp, the new UI, and scratchies. The on-ramp, basically the question is, are any of those actual utilities, or are those shiny pieces to make it better, more exciting, better looking, and easier to get into? Are those utilities, or are those just shiny pieces? And I don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah, we can't tell until people use it, right? Because I can have the capability, but if it's not used, it's not a utility, right? It's a capability. So, does that?
I guess so. I mean, because
I think it is more. It's a sales pitch.
Okay.
Until it works.
Sure. Sure. Right? I mean, it all is until it's actually there. It's not there yet.
Yeah. So, but when it comes, I don't know if I agree with that. Drip needs utility.
Okay.
I think drip needs users.
Okay.
Right. Because going back to what I was saying, having 100,000 wallets at 1 million drip was $100, $50 to $100 drip.
Right.
200,000, 2 million, 300,000, 3 million, 400,000, 4 million. The reason that, this attracted me is because it was a deposit that paid you on what you deposited, your investment. So I think that drip is unique and does not need the utility that other platforms do. Right. And that's just based on data that I've seen. There was no utility when it was, pumping, right? And the only reason that people lost faith was because of broken promises.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
People were thinking, if he does this, what else will he do? And so, people lost faith. And for that reason, people couldn't see that their constant compounding was helping them get money.
Correct.
They started to see all of the other Ponzi's out there and the runs, and they just assumed that was the case. And now you have that constant stream of sell, 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 sell. But you are noticing one thing. When it gets to a certain level, the low people who got in, not that they're low in personality or whoever they are, but they have less money. They're like, I'm paying more in gas.
Right. Yeah.
And they weren't doing that when drip was $2. Right. But now they are. In the moment that pause happens, drip's price goes right back up. Right. So, and a lot of them are starting to say, well, Animal Farm doesn't look as juicy and beautiful anymore. Right. And so they're not investing there, but there's still Ponzi schemes out there, Matt. There are still people who go into Telegram groups that I'm in and promote pump and dump schemes. Because they didn't do like we've done with the technology. They still think somehow DeFi is different than fiat, and you can just create something and automatically you plant it and you grow internet money. Right. At the time when we saw drip last year, we didn't understand it, at the levels that we do now. So it kind of was, it's like, this all works. Let's just pump in money. But I'm not sure that drip needs a utility as much as Animal Farm needs a utility.
Interesting. Okay.
Right? And Animal Farm has the utility in the farms, like to say, hey, I can give you the same access to a good capital base who's rather loyal. If you want to host your coin and pair it with our coin on our farm. He wants to introduce a game, but those are at the moment ideas and not factual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's another thing. And so, like, as you know this, Potter, one of the biggest things for me to wrap my head around with crypto has been always, and something I'm still working on, is utility. Because before crypto, my head around utility was like, you buy a product, they give you a physical product that does something. You go buy Lysol and you can spray it and clean something. That is utility in that product.
Yeah, me too. I was in the same boat.
And then I was finally able to make that transition to understand, like, the product Zoom. I mean, there's not much physical there, but it is there's not much physical, but it is a virtual thing that it's, a doctor and a patient can speak with one another. A service can go through that, or a trainer and a client. So that is absolutely utility, but really doesn't have any physical manifestation. So you're going to an even deeper layer of utility when you're talking about DeFi, crypto, and then you go into the macroeconomics of banking and leverage, lending, pairing this coin with this coin. It's tough to wrap your head around, but I guess I'm saying that to say to you listening or watching, like, really trying to expand your understanding of what utility is, because it's something I'm still working on in my head.
Okay, maybe we'll do next week's show. I'll look into more examples, and we'll specifically just call out utility and talk about our evolution.
That sounds cool.
Understanding it.
Yeah. And if you are actually looks like a Diggs BTW7. Hey, what's up? Looks like a Twitch person.
Twitch guy.
Hey, how you doing over there? What you Twitchness?
Did you see what the Twitch guy said yesterday?
I did not.
Okay, so I'm clicking because I'm thinking it's Cole and Mitchell, and I'm just clicking. I'm like, oh, I got messages, and I click before reading, and the guy was like, just let that zipper down a little bit more. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So that so that was the last Twitch person. So thanks, Diggs, for changing that around.
Oh, what a great way to end it. That's fantastic. Well, like I said, you're carrying it on your back and apparently on your chest. Potter, seriously, you've been doing a fantastic thing up job for real. He went straight for goal yesterday.
He definitely did. Yeah, we can't tell you guys. Look, we know that we have a small audience, but there's one thing that you can't replace in life, and that's integrity. And My integrity on another level is being tested right now, but I'm good because I know I did everything by the book. And when it comes to giving you guys, the few who we know, advice, we've stuck to that. It's the core reason that we have not endorsed anything, because we don't want to also get a taste of that, influencer, extra money and go, well, I mean, it's not that bad. Everything that you look at, we've done with integrity and based on data and our own perceptions. And we've been true to you about what we're invested in and what we're not. And we still believe in the whole drip ecosystem.
1,000%. I feel like it's a beautiful way to wrap it up. Cole, great chat, guys. Thanks for the time and energy. Absolutely, Cole. It's good to see you here. Yeah. And if you're watching this in playback and you have the same question about that utility, I would hope that you'll drop the question down below in the comments. What are your thoughts about utility? What are your confusions about utility? Do you share that with me and trying to expand your mind on what utility means? And that would be a really cool talk, I think, Potter. So yeah, let's do that next week.
Yeah, Cole, he says, please don't turn into, quote, influencers you guys may be. You guys are way more useful. We won't. And we made that choice, and we understand that people want to hear all of that stuff. And that's why we're not getting thousands of views, because kind of boring to talk about, the blocking and tackling or the basics of what we're going through. But I believe in the end, this is going to pay off, because people can go through our historic record and see, wow, when everybody was booming, they just stayed on principles. And that's what our integrity is about.
It's damn true. If you're feeling squirrely, slide on by, because Thursday, Friday, we'll be here. We will see you next week. And builders, keep building.
Game on.